Hello and welcome. My name is Amber, and I'm currently working on a passion project and taking you along for the ride. I am documenting my plans to add on about $800 a month worth of billings in the next 2 months by marketing online and direct and indirect marketing. And then I'm also sharing with you, and I have more of a concrete plan. Yesterday, I kind of told you where I was and where I wanted to go. Today, we're going to talk about how to get there. So, this is like the vehicle that we're going to use to get there. Because I can hop on a Segway and get there to a location, but I'm only going to be able to go about 12 miles an hour. Versus if I hop into a Ferrari, I'm going to get there a whole lot faster. You understand what I'm saying? I hope. Um, so I sat down and I was like, okay, what does this actually look like? Because, um, it's important to map that out, I think. And it's also important to stick to the plans that I create for myself. And I just realized I do not have my microphone plugged in. Bear with me a moment. This was impromptu and I hadn't planned on making a video, but I wrote it all down and I'm gonna write it down when I share the video on the blog again and probably dive into a little bit of what that looks like all of these different things, what they look like, and how they're gonna happen. But as you can tell, I'm not in my old comfy chair. Cat is lit. So I was trying not to waste, oh, I almost knocked over my tea. Trying not to waste too much time because I am on a time crunch now. Um, so here's what this looks like. What my list over here looks like. I get 1 hour each day. That 1 hour can be used to record videos, to publish videos, to do social media, to write blogs, to do anything related to the passion project. Um, Putting blogs out, getting on Pinterest, pinning things, cleaning up my Pinterest, which probably need to do on my off time. Maybe during my my D&D games. Cool. Just realized I had something on my cheek. Sorry about that. Let's see. So I get 1 hour each day, Monday through Friday, to work on the passion project. Um, I need to do 3 hours at least of client work each day, um, Monday through Friday. And if I don't get a full 3 hours in, that time has to roll over into the next day, and I may not get to work on my passion project during that time when my son is at school, in which case I would have to do it when he's home or everybody's in bed or before everybody gets up. So I either have to we normally wake up at about 6, so that would mean I'd be getting up at 5 or having to stay up much later. And I don't want to do either one of those things, um, evident by my current migraine. Anyway, 3 hours of client work each day to make sure I'm staying on top of things that I need to be staying on top of. Um, and if I don't have anything to work on, then I get to distribute that time however I want. Either I have personal time for myself, I can put that time toward the passion project, but it needs to be that all of the client work is done. And it's very rare that I don't have someone's work to be working on. And as I add more clients, that's going to go up as well. We have 30 minutes of active marketing. And what does that mean? That means I have 30 minutes each day where I set a timer for, let's say, 15 minutes, and I get on and I'm either emailing people directly, I'm messaging people via Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and I'm physically engaging in active conversations. I'm getting into um, Facebook groups. I'm searching for what I'm looking for and interacting. I'm applying for things. I am actively marketing. I am actively being a participant in the marketing aspect or building relationships too. I can qualify that. Man, I washed my hair yesterday and it is, I need to get some anti-frizz stuff for my hair. Um, and then we have 30 minutes of indirect marketing, and that can include doing creating the images for Facebook posts. It can involve actually scheduling the posts or actively posting on threads or Facebook or Facebook groups anywhere that I can think of. But the reason this is indirect is because I'm kind of spraying and praying. I'm not actively engaging people unless they engage with me. It responding to people's comments is still going to be, in my opinion, right now, at this point in time, just because it takes so little time, it's going to be part of that indirect marketing time or just not even counted toward any of this. Um, so yeah, that's how that's going to work. And then, um, as far as the Reiki studio stuff goes, the plan there is going to be um like once or twice a week I make a post, or once or twice a week I'm creating a reel. I don't think that I went over this the other day, so I want to make sure that I do. I have a list of other things like active things. What is the actual marketing plan? Um, let's see. I'm not going to start a specific Instagram for this. I think I already said that I will just use my personal Instagram for the profile. And I'm probably going to be doing about 2 posts per week total. And sometimes it'll be a reel, sometimes it'll be a static post, sometimes it'll be a carousel, sometimes it'll be a combination of those two things, 3 different types of posts. And I can definitely post more than that, but my minimum is going to be 2 times per week for that. I really do want to get involved in threads to some degree. And then, yeah, um, the 30 minutes of active direct outreach via uh, DMs and posting in Facebook groups. So it was kind of all over the place, and I really hadn't narrowed it down. I'm not going to have a website for this at all. I'm going to work toward getting some speaking opportunities as well so that I can be an authority on specific topics and get in front of people that are not in my direct audience. And I really want to create an email list where people can get some tips and tricks and behind the scenes type stuff regarding the OBM and VA best practices. Let's see. And then the workflow when someone's interested in an OBM or VA package will go something like this. Expresses interest, send to a basic form with generic questions about their business and a website if they have one that I can look at. Going to send them an email with the brochure that gives them all of the information that they need to actually do that. So that is something that isn't on my list. That is not part of the project or I'm sorry, that's not part of the client work. That's not part, me putting together, doing the behind the scenes stuff. I'm probably gonna give myself another hour for that each day. Need to write it down before I forget. Um, 1 hour of BTS. So that's going to entail like creating the brochures. It's going to look like doing billing, doing things like that. Obviously, billing sometimes takes longer than an hour. So, um, that's going to be a whole thing. But like the active stuff that I need to do in order to get this up off the ground, um, I need to give myself an hour of that each day until it's done and it's ready, and getting some infrastructure built within my business. And connecting things like creating a depot where all of the links for all of the stuff. So we'll have a link to the brochure, we'll have a link to the scheduling app. I have a link to the questionnaires, links to all of that within one Google spreadsheet so that it's organized and I know exactly where I'm going to get that information. So I'm not having to open a ton of windows. It's all in one space. We need to then send them the email with the brochure attached, and that tells them most of what they need to know. And then we schedule a 20-minute, and that is a hard 20. A hard 20. We have exactly 20 minutes to answer any questions that they may have, lingering questions that they have that the brochure didn't answer. And I will say that as I do more of those, I will create an entire page within the brochure that is for frequently asked questions because I think that that's really important. And oftentimes, as I do these meetings, I'm going to learn more about what those questions are, and then I can tailor the brochure a little bit to those specific questions. And let's see. Yeah, schedule the hard 20-minute chat to answer any lingering questions and begin the process for the project. That's the other thing. I'm not taking just ongoing clients. I am taking small-ish projects, like 1 to 3 month projects that will allow me to work with someone and find out. I'm going to market it as an ongoing relationship. And before I jump in, I'm going to say, look, we're going to do like a 1 to 90 day, 30 to 90 day trial run where we are going to focus on a specific metric and one specific thing. And then after that time frame, if we're both satisfied and we're both on the same page, then we can move into a long-term agreement. I have learned the hard way that you do not want to just hop into bed with somebody. You really want to do a smaller project and get a sense of how they work, how organized or disorganized they are, and figuring out exactly what they need and what they say they need versus what they actually need and all of that. Because oftentimes there's some underlying things that they don't even know that they need that they definitely need. So yeah, I hope that helps kind of really give you kind of the basics for what I'm doing over the next little while. I think it's important to understand like how one goes about adding clients to business. And I think that the accountability of me having to actually share with you what exactly is working and what hasn't worked, and what I'm physically doing, really keeping track of those metrics. I've never had to do that before. And I think that it's really going to be eye-opening. And so I'm super curious to not only share that with you, but also to see myself what those efforts, how that works. Like I know that I've never gotten a client off of Instagram before. So I'm curious because I'm going to actually be tracking the time. That's the other thing. I am going to have, so I use Toggle generally for client work, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use Toggle for that or one of the other time clock uh apps that I have. We'll see. It might be easiest to put it into into Toggle so that I can see at the end of the week like everything that I've done, instead of having some things here and some things here. So that's likely how that's gonna go. And then I can export those into a spreadsheet or download reports and really kind of keep track of that so that I can share it with you guys. So, I hope that you are having a fabulous day. I hope that this is enlightening to you. I expect that we're going to have quite a number of videos coming out for this because of the simple fact that we are going to be doing some of my current budgeting. We are going to talk about future lifestyle budgeting, and I'll explain what that even is in at a later time. I'm currently working on what that actually looks like and building it out. Progress reports to measure my growth and see how close we're getting. So we are going to base this on a percentage track. So how close am I? Am I 10% closer? Am I 0% closer? Am I 2% closer? Like how much closer am I to where I want to be? Uh, Burnout monitoring, that's going to be key. And let's see, budgeting and cash stuffing, and also learning how to invest once we get to the point where I actually have extra funds to invest, whether that be $10 a month or 20 or 30. Can you say hi? This is Moaning Myrtle. She is, when she was a baby, she did not like to be picked up. She no longer screams about being picked up now. Obviously. Um, but she used to. So we're gonna do a lot of that. Like some of this could be really, really boring. I'm gonna try my best to make it interesting. But it genuinely might be boring. And once we hit the goal that I have in mind of the 800 billings, we will take kind of a glance back and look at how long that took and where we are, you know? So yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description box because I finally have the blog put together for this passion project. I am housing that on Podia. Do highly recommend. I was kind of split between Podia and um, HeyHip. And when I went to put in a blog post that I was not done with in PayHip, I could not save a draft. And for me, I like to start the process and then I come back like 3 or 4 times sometimes and edit things and add images before I publish it, you know? So I didn't really care for how that went. And I really saw no button for drafting posts. So, ended up going with Podia, which is cool because I can create a community on there, and I do want to do that at some point, soon. And then I can do a couple of products and things, and that's cool and ideal and exactly what I want. So I hope you guys have a good day. Let me know if you have any questions about Podia. I will do my best to answer them. This isn't my first rodeo with them. Um, the Reiki studio is on Podia as well. All right, guys, have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.